Yeah, sure.
Okay. So on the left here, we have Rika, who is on a interesting forest list. It looks like a mix of like puppet control stuff going on here. Let me go ahead and set up. I still have these saved on here. I don't, so I'll have to do it right now.
Let me see. I guess I will go second.
Sure.
All right, tech code there for forest here. Go ahead and grab the Abyss player here. The Abyss player looks like they are on a somewhat, yeah, looks like they are on the Angel Control package going with the discard stuff going on, with the discard Israfil to Death's Breath back Israfil. Another very powerful cards.
Start off Harvest Festival.
Alright, opening up Harvest Festival already, which is good for Forest here. Making sure to get their engine online. Not having their engine early is pretty bad. Now just make sure they need to get some bounces off here. I'm interested to see how this puppet stuff does pan out. I haven't tested the puppet stuff. I've been mostly playing like the combo wisp stuff going on, but I know the puppet stuff generally is relatively decently powerful for the mid-range deck and everything, so see how this goes. So cracking the Harvest Festival immediately shows they have no real way to bounce stuff. I guess having the second Harvest Festival here too, you don't feel as bad just cracking it like that. It is very hard to see the Abyss player's board here. It looks like they have the Punk Temple along with Bellringer, which is fine. This matchup is probably might be a little tough if Forest can like kind of combo off in the mid game here, but it kind of depends too whether Abyss is going to be able to start hand ripping early and maybe hitting some of the key combo pieces. First time seeing this being played. Automation Soldier here. It's a 3/4 ward. It's going to summon 2 puppet tokens in the EX area. This is kind of how the deck starts controlling the stuff. We get things in our EX area, which does turn on our what is this card called? They're using the CC version. I forget. Cassiopeia. And then also using the puppets as like easy removal, basically 1-drop removal for 1 damage.
I'll spend 3 and play down Omen of Silence.
Sure.
I'll use an Evo point and evolve him.
Sure.
All right, we got the Omen of Silence dropping out here, making things awkward. I think Omen of Silence is one of the few cards that can make some turns for Forest really, really awkward, just because they have like actually some decent spells they want to use that cost 1, for example. The major one being Nature's Guidance, which is a card that's fairly common in comboing off and getting extra draw. Looks like Forest is also on Mark of the Six, which can make some of those turns where you want to have 1 play point up to block damage kind of awkward, because if they play an Omen of Silence, suddenly you're not unable to play the Mark of the Six. All right, Rose Deer coming down, giving us a, forgetting the name of the token card here. I believe it's Thornburst, yes. Filling up that EX area, getting in, removing stuff with the deer, getting good value here, being able to swing in with the puppet guy for 3 here, already brushing the life total. Abyss should have an easy time kind of clearing up this board, since they could, if they want to, have Omen of Silence just clear off the 3/4 ward. They could Evo the Bellringer to get rid of the deer as well. I'll see how they decide to actually go through with this turn. If they do have a Apostle of Silence too, believe Rika only has 3 cards in hand, which means the effect is live for the card, meaning it will deal burn damage and remove of a faller on the board. Even if they had 4 cards in hand, it's still going to be good removal here.
Do the second effect, so select an enemy faller on the field and deal it 2 damage.
Sure.
And deal 1 damage to my leader. So
All right, Wing of Lust coming out here, acting as a generic snipe, getting rid of the deer.
Deal 1 damage to your leader, draw a card and discard a card.
And they're going to use the draw discard as the secondary effect here. To my assumption here is discard Israfil to set up for the turn 6. Yep, there's Israfil coming down, setting up for a turn 6 Death's Breath, hopefully.
Then I will. I'll spend 2 and play Thunder and War and make you discard a card.
Sure.
We're just having him discard a card here. Was that 3 card hand here? So let's see if we hit.
It says each opponent discards a random card.
Yeah, so 1, 2, 3.
2.
Sure. Spin area.
Ooh, losing Spinaria is kind of rough, especially since you do have the tokens in the X area, meaning on turn 7 we can kind of do some cool plays with Spinaria. We'll see how these turns pan out though.
I'll attack you.
Sure.
Our Omen Silence going down to 1 health here. Removing the guy.
I will ward my bell ringer.
Pay 5 for CC. That's Cassiopeia. Card in hand is 2. Gets area is 3. So
All right, we got to clear up the board here with Cass. Cass is so good. Like, I think people undervalue the the explosive nature of Cassiopeia at times, especially in combination with the EX era, and especially into Abyss. It's one of the few ways you can keep the hand size, or not the hand size, but I guess technically hand size, but you get to keep the damage up for Cass for her fanfare when she comes into play here. Being able to clear up these boards feels good. One thing that's rough though for this matchup definitely is Forest. You know, one of the biggest win conditions usually is King Elephant here. So King Elephant not being as powerful, going to have to be hopefully play more of the control game here, pop in the board, and hopefully your top decks as Forest are going to be pretty good.
For another bell ringer.
sure.
And I'll spend 2.
Double Bellringer here. Wow.
To down 4, 3.
Yeah.
Sure.
And then I'll ward both of them. And enter.
Sure.
If we see another Cass here, that would be pretty nice.
Pay 4. Rose Deer.
Oh, Rose Deer is not too bad either here.
I will pay 2. 1 Thorn Burst. I'll shoot, I guess the Evo Bellringer for 3. And then drop card.
These Thornbursts coming in handy in this matchup, you know, being able to act as removal and an extra draw, making it more awkward for your opponent having to, like, not get you down to a 0 card hand and being forced to play off the top deck the whole time. Alright, soul conversion here. We're soul converting away this, so we can go ahead and draw 3 off of this.
I'll go 4 face.
This having so much hand here.
So the health is just to make sure 13 of you and 18 on you. Health
Did you-
equals.
did you take damage?
Oh, yes, so 13. Yeah, third person of 14. Alright, so 13. Yeah, that's. Yeah, let's reverse the states and someone else.
Okay.
I'm kind of sure. Enter.
Looks like they have some confusion about the life total. Unfortunately, I wasn't paying enough attention to their life total to pop it and give them the correct number, but we'll see what happens here. So we'll find out later once this VOD is up. We are at that point. Death's Breath plus Evo point here is pretty big. It makes things fairly awkward if that's happening, which it looks like it is.
to your board.
Yep.
All right, so we're getting a huge value here. These boards are pretty awkward. I'm looking here right now. What does Force here have? They do play Elf Twins Assault, which I guess in this case can deal 3 damage. What else do we have here that's fairly good? We have no bounce cards here, which is kind of a bit awkward here. I don't know how they're going to truly deal with Israfil. But like I said earlier, they do play Mark of the Six, so maybe they can just like eat a couple 10s and like hopefully get to a point where they can actually clear the 10-10. But what makes it so awkward here is that anytime you're playing something here, you're just... Oh, okay, here we go.
I have 3 cards into Yip's area.
CC into the Elf Twins Assault here.
So hit that for 3. And yeah, pass turn.
So they're going to lose CC here. It looks like Israfil's at 1, miscounting possibly the cards in hand and on board. Not having a good out for this Israfil is pretty rough. You usually expect Force to have some kind of bounce cards to deal with things like these, but here we are.
I'll just play him for 7 and
1, 2. Oh wait, so I go 10.
then I attack you for 10.
Yeah, that's game. Yeah, just remember to do the fanfare plus card and then next time.
Okay.
Alright, looks like Israfil coming in, closing out the game here. Unfortunately, it didn't look like they had any very great ways to deal with the board once Israfil dropped. Unfortunate there.